once again, welcome to Mima's Crafts. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this beautiful and easy tote bag here. We're going to crochet this bag using double crochet. Okay, so this is our bag, the handles. Okay, so for this bag you're going to need scissors. You're also going to need stitch markers. You're going to need about 7 of them. Okay, you're also going to need a crochet hook. I'm going to be using a 6mm crochet hook. You're also going to need the yarn, and this one here is 3mm braided macrame, and I used gray with and together with yellow. Okay, you can choose any other color that you want. Okay, so let's begin. We're going to begin with the magic circle. So what you do is you simply wrap your yarn around your hand like that. Okay, and then we're going to be working with this strand, and then we're going to leave this end here. So I take my hook and then insert and then grab my yarn. Okay, and then I'm going to chain 3, and this is going to represent my first double crochet. Okay, like that. So I'm just going to like this. So I'm going to crochet 11 more double crochets in this ring. Okay, so this one is my first double crochet. So my second one, I yarn over. Okay, and then insert, yarn over, pull through. I have 3 loops now. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over again, and then pull through the next 2 loops. So this is my second double crochet. Again, I do another one. Okay, so just keep on repeating these double crochets up until they are 12. So right now we have 1, 2, 3. So let's do 9 more and then come back. Okay, so I now have 12 double crochets. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this tail end here and then pull it to close the gap in between here, like that. Okay, so now to finish up the first round, we're going to join with a slip stitch. Okay, this is the chain 3 that we did at the first 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to insert my hook here, yarn over, and then join with a slip stitch like that. So this is our first round. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this tail to make it short. Okay, like that. So now we move on to the next round. So in the next round, we're going to be putting 2 double crochets in each stitch right round up until we're back here. Also, this slip stitch here is going to count as a stitch. Okay, so at the beginning of each round, we're going to be doing a chain of 3, and this counts as our first double crochet. Okay, so I have a chain of 3 now. So in that same stitch, I'm going to put another double crochet. Okay, to make them 2. Okay, so now we have 2 double crochet in there. I move on to the next one. I put 2 double crochets again into that stitch. So that's 1. Again, I put another one. That's 2. Okay. Okay, again in the next stitch, 2 double crochets. That's 1. Okay, I put another one. 2. Okay, so you can see that we're putting 2 double crochets in each stitch. So we're going to continue doing that 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 up until we're back here at the end here. Okay, so let's do that and then come back. Okay, so I'm now at the end here. This one here, this stitch that is left, is the slip stitch that we used to join our stitches before. So here it is counting as a stitch. If you are to count your double crochets here, we have 22. So we're going to put 2 more in this slip stitch to make them 24. Okay, so we're going to be crocheting in this slip stitch. Okay, so I'm going to put 2 double crochets in that stitch, 1, and then another one, 2. So we now have 24. Okay, and to finish up this this round, we're going to join in this stitch. Okay, so this is the chain 3 that we did, 1 2 3, but I'm going to join in here with a slip stitch like that. So this is our second round. Okay, moving on to the third. Now we're going to be doing a sequence of 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet. So it's going to be 2 1 2 1 2 1 up until we're back at the starting point. Okay, so in the first stitch is always going to be a chain of 3, 2, and then 3. Okay, so in that same stitch you're going to put another double crochets to make them 2. Okay, 2. Okay, in this one we're going to put 1. Okay, in the following stitch, 1 double crochet. In the next we're going to put 2 double crochets. Okay, 2 double crochets, 1. Again in the same stitch I put another 1, 2. In the next, 1. Okay, so it's just going to be 2 1 2 1 up until we're done with the row, with the round. Okay, 1 here, 2. 1 again in that same stitch, 2. Okay, so 2 here, 1 2 1 2 1 2 up until we're back here at the starting point. Okay, so I've done the pattern 2 double crochets, 1 2 1 2, and now here you find that I've just put 2 in the stitch and we're left with this slip stitch here. We are going to put 1 double crochet in there. Okay, make sure that you crochet into the slip stitch. Okay, it is counting as a stitch. Okay, so whenever you begin with 2 double crochets in one stitch, you always end with 1 double crochet. Okay, so this is our second round, and it's our third round, sorry, and it's done. So I'm going to join with a slip stitch like we did previously, 1 2 3, and then here like that. Okay, so now moving on to the fourth round. Our sequence now is going to be 2 1 1 2. So we begin with a chain of 3, 1 2 and 3. Okay, so in the same stitch, this one we're going to put another double crochet. Okay, so in this next stitch you're going to put 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then 2. Okay, so it's going to be 2 1 1 2. Okay, so in this next one I'm going to put 1 double crochet, in the next 1 double crochet, in this one 2. So that's 1, again in the same stitch, 2. Okay, again 1 double crochet in the following, 1 in the next. Okay, and then 2 in this one. This one in the same stitch, 2. Okay, so we're going to follow the sequence 2 1 1 2 2 1 1 2. Okay, 2 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 up until we're back here at the starting point. Okay, so I've just finished the fourth round. Okay, and here I finished up with 1 double crochets and then 1 again here. Okay, this one was 2 in the stitch. Okay, so here we're going to join again with a slip stitch just like we're doing previously, 1 2 3, and then in this one. Okay, So what we're doing is we're just adding 12 stitches for each round, okay? So just make sure that your stitches are increasing with 12, okay, for each round. Now moving on to the 5th round, I'm going to begin with a chain of 3 and 3, okay? And then again in the same stitch, I'm going to put another double crochet, okay? This one. Okay, so in this one we're going to have 2 DC here, and then in the next 3 stitches we're going to have 1 1 1, okay, 1 1 1 1, okay, so that's 3 stitches with 1 DC each, okay. So in the next stitch I'm going to put 1 double crochet or 1 DC, okay. In the following again 1 double crochet. In the next 1 double crochets, so that's 3 stitches with 1 DC each, okay, like that, okay. So we have 2 here, 1 1 1, and then in the next one we're going to put 2 double crochets, okay. So that's 1 and then again 2, and then from there in the next 3 stitches we're going to put 1 1 1 and then 2, okay. Again 1 1 1 and then 2, okay. So we're going to continue with the sequence right round up until we're back here. So we now have 5 rounds, okay. We begin with a chain of 3, 1 2 and then 3, and then in the same stitch you put another double crochet, okay. Okay, so for this round we're going to put 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches and then 2 in the 5th one, okay. So it's just going to be 1 2 3 4 stitches. I'll be putting 1 1 1 1 each, okay. And then in the following stitch, the 5th one, I put 2 double crochets, okay. So that's going to be the sequence, okay, right round up until we're back. So here I'm left with this slip stitch here to finish off my 6th round. So I'm just going to crochet into it, and this is the last time that we'll be crocheting in this slip stitch, okay. Okay, so here in the chain 3 here, that is where we're going to join, okay. So it's going to be 1 2 3. We're no longer joining with slip stitch here, but we're going to join in the 3rd chain here. So you count 1 2 3 in the 3rd chain, insert your hook and then join with a slip stitch, okay. So this is the base of our bag, and we're going to maintain this number of stitches up until we finish the bag, okay. So in the next round I'm going to begin with a chain of 3, 1 2 and 3, okay. So now I'll just be putting 1 double crochet in each up until we're back at the starting point, okay. So it's to maintain the same number of stitches. So now I don't insert my hook here, but I move into the next stitch, okay, and then I put a 1 double crochet like that into the following 1 double crochet again into the next, okay. So I'm just going to continue 1 double crochet right round up until I'm back at the starting point. Okay, so here at the end here, okay, before we're crocheting in the slip stitch, but we're no longer crocheting into the slip stitch, okay. If you do, you increase the stitches by 1 as you finish each round, and we do not want that. We want to maintain the same number of stitches, okay. So you skip the slip stitch and then you count 1 2 3 into the 3rd chain, you join with a slip stitch like this, okay. And then you begin the next round with a chain of 3 3, okay, into the next stitch, okay, just like we did with the previous round, okay. And then you continue with 1 slip stitch in each, 1 double crochet in each stitch up until the round is done. So we're just going to repeat what we did with this one, okay. Remember not to crochet in the slip stitch, and then when you begin with a chain 3 and then move on into the next stitch, okay. So let's do that up until we have 13 rounds and then come back. So I've done 13 rounds now, so I want to introduce another color, which is yellow. So here I'm left with one double crochet, so I'm just going to do it, and then we're going to join with a slip stitch. Okay, so now we're introducing another color. 1 2 3 here. Okay, I'm going to do the slip stitch using the yellow one. Okay, like this. Okay, so if you want here, you can just tie this like this. Okay, and I'm going to cut here. So I'm going to cut here. Okay, and I'm going to now continue but working with the yellow one. Okay, so I'm going to chain 3 2 and then 3. Okay, so I'm going to crochet and then hide these ends here as I crochet. Okay, so I yarn over, insert my hook. Okay, okay, in the next, like this. In the next one. Okay, you see we've hidden the ends here, so I'm just going to continue up until I have 18 rounds and then come back. So I now have 18 rounds here, so we want to do one more round of slip stitch and then we put the handles. Okay, so here I'm going to join with the slip stitch here. Okay, like this. So I'm just going to put a stitch marker here just to mark the starting point. Okay, so in the next stitch I'm going to put a slip stitch in the back loop only. Okay, like this. In the following, in the back loop. Okay, like this. Okay, so let's just continue and do slip stitch right round up until we're back at the starting point. Welcome back. So I've done slip stitch, this one here. So now I want to mark the points where we're going to put the handles. So you find that the total number of stitches that we have here is 72. So if you divide 72 by 2, you get 36. So what I'm going to do here is make sure that the seam here where your rows end and start is at the middle like this. Okay, the front of our bag, this is going to be the back of our bag, and this is going to be the front. Okay, without the seam. Okay, this is the seam line. So now lay it flat like this and then choose one edge here. So I'm going to put a stitch marker here like this. Okay, so from here I'm going to count 36 stitches. Okay, and then put my stitch marker into the 37th stitch. Okay, so I'm going to count here and put my stitch marker in the 37th stitch. Okay, so this is stitch number 1, and I've counted 36 stitches, and I've put another one in stitch number 37. Okay, like this. So now here's what we're going to do. From this stitch I'm going to count 9 stitches and put another stitch markers. Okay, another stitch marker. So that's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. I'm going to put a stitch marker in the stitch like this. Okay, I'm going to come at this side again. I'm going to count 9 stitches again. That's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. I put another stitch marker in there. I'm going to turn my bag. Okay, and I'm going to repeat again what we did that side. Okay, so beginning in the stitch 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. I put another stitch marker here. Okay, they should correspond here. Okay, so I come again this side. That's beginning in this stitch 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, like this. So now we have these 6 points. These are for the handles. This is the starting point, and then we have this one as well as this one. But now we want to change this starting point. Okay, because we're going to put handles here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to remove this. We no longer need it. Okay, and here I'm going to do one slip stitch like this, and then I'm going to cut. Okay, we'll fasten this off later on. Okay, so my bag now, the starting point is going to be this one. Okay, you can choose either this or this. Okay, so I'm going to choose this one as my starting point. So I'm going to remove the yellow one here. Okay, so I'm left with 5 stitch markers. This one's for the handles and this one the starting point. So here I take my yarn. I'm going to do a slip stitch like this. Okay, I'm going to come here. Okay, like this. So I'm going to do slip stitch like this. This is our first stitch now. So I put back the stitch marker. Okay, let's choose another color. Okay, since we have another blue here. Okay, I'm going to put the orange one. Okay, so I'm going to continue with slip stitch. Okay, like this, up until I'm at this stitch marker that is marking the first point of our handle. Okay, so in here I remove the stitch marker. Okay, but I'm going to do the slip stitch below both loops like this. Okay, like this, and I'm going to do a chain for my handle. Okay, so for this one I'm going to do a chain of 60. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I now have a chain of 60. If you want the handle to be longer, you just increase the number of stitches of chains. Okay, if you want it to be shorter, just reduce the number of chains. So I'm going to come in this chain here, in this stitch here. Okay, then I'm going to set my hook below both loops like this, and then I'm going to join again with a slip stitch like this. So this is my first handle. So I'm going to continue with slip stitch in the back loop. Okay, like this, up until we're at the other side here, and put the other handle. Okay, so we're now at the stitch with the stitch marker. So I'm just going to remove the stitch marker. Okay, then I'm going to insert my hook below both loops like this. Okay, and join with a slip stitch, and then I'm going to do another chain for my second handle of 60. Okay, so I now have the second chain. Make sure that it is not twisted before you join. Okay, so I'm going to join in the stitch. Okay, sorry. Like this. So I'm just going to continue with slip stitch. Okay, up until you pass this point, slip stitch. Let's meet back here at the start of the other handle. Okay, so on this handle we're going to be doing 1 single crochet in each chain. Okay, not slip stitch. Okay, so just insert your hook in each chain and then do 1 single crochet like this. Okay, like this. So let's do that. 1 single crochet in each chain, and here we continue with slip stitch. We repeat again 1 single crochet in each chain on the other handle. Let's meet back here at the starting point. Okay, so we now have the handles, okay, with single crochet. So we just want to do 1 last round of slip stitch, okay, in the back loop, including the handles. You just insert your hook again in the back loop and do slip stitch. Okay, so let's do 1 more round of slip stitch and then come back. Okay, so I'm here. These are our handles, and I'm back here at the starting point. So I'm just going to remove the stitch marker and join with the slip stitch again. Okay, and then I'm going to cut and fasten this off. Welcome back. So this is our bag, our tote bag. Okay, and it's done. These are the handles. Okay, so this is the right side. Okay, the front side, this one, and then this is the back side with the seam. Okay, so it's done. Thank you for watching Mimi's Crafts. Please do subscribe, like, comment, and share for more videos. Thank you.